Uh, Thank you, Apurva ji. And with that, now I hand it over to our president, Mr. Ripudaman Dhillon. Over to you, Ripu Saab.
I'm good. Thank you very much. First of all, good morning to everyone. And I'm sorry that my video, there is some like laptop is not working right now. I'm working on it, but I hope everyone can listen to me. So, good morning to all those joining this program from Canada, and good evening to everyone in India. Welcome to this joint initiative between the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce and BRTISF, the foundation set up by BSE Institute Limited and BIL Ryerson Future Private Limited to promote startups. I am Ripudaman Singh Dhillon, the 34th president of ICCC, which is a 44-year-old organization based in Toronto. Its mandate is to foster the bilateral trade and investment relations between Canada and India and to create business opportunities for Indo-Canadian small businesses. In these 4.5 decades, we have been instrumental in both setting the bilateral trade and investment agenda and promoting the interests of Canadian small businesses owned and operated by Indo-Canadians. Our chamber has always developed deep-rooted relations with our primary stakeholders, the federal and the provincial governments in Canada and the union and state governments in India. It is because of these ties that we have been able to usher innovative programs and initiatives that are relevant to our members and the larger Indo-Canadian business community. This continued relevance has helped us emerge as the largest organization for Indo-Canadian business community. Pertinently, we are a democratic organization where elections are held to elect a voluntary board. Just one moment. I think I'm coming on to the camera as well. Just one moment. It got fixed. One moment. So once again, good morning to everyone. Nice to see everyone here. So, friends,
pertinently, we are in a democratic organization where elections are held to elect a voluntary board. Friends, earlier this year, we had a meeting with His Excellency Ajay Bisaria ji, the High Commissioner of India to Canada, where Apurva Srivastava ji, the Consulate General of India in Toronto, was also present. At that meeting, High Commissioner Bisaria strongly recommended ICCC to launch a startup initiative to help Canadian and Indian startups connect and collaborate. We immediately seized upon this suggestion and approached Ryerson University and Schulich School of Business. We also connected with the Ontario government and coordinated with the Indian High Commission and the Consulate General of India. Our MOU with BRT ISF is the first step in that direction. We are determined to create space for organization in that startup space, which is already overcrowded. However, we are confident that the ICCC brings its own strengths to the startups sector because of its deep-rooted connection with the 1.4 million Indo-Canadian business community. I look forward to interacting with the Indian startups who have joined us today. Thank you very much for your time. But now, let me introduce Honorable Nina Tangriji, Ontario's Associate Minister of Small Businesses and Red Tape Reduction. Minister Tangri is a veteran member of the Provincial Parliament and has a long-standing record of serving Ontario and especially the Indo-Canadian community. She was elected in 2018 as a Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario MPP from Mississauga Streetsville. Her ministry's purpose is to modernize and streamline the government, improve rules and process affecting people and businesses. Its aim to make Ontario competitive and support economic recovery by accelerating business growth, attracting investments, and creating jobs. Please join me in welcoming Minister Tangri.
Well, good morning, everyone here in Canada, and of course, good evening to all those of you joining us out in India, in Mumbai. But thank you so much, Mr. Ripudaman Singh Dhillon, for inviting me to be part of today's webinar. The work that the ICCC is doing to strengthen ties between Ontario and India, they're so important. I'm really pleased and proud to be here with all of you today. I had a chance to read a brief write-up about each of the 6 startup companies participating in today's webinar. And while I'm excited to hear more of each of you, I must say I'm already impressed by the collective work that you're doing. From the life-saving technology developed by Endimension to the digital fraud prevention platform created by Trust Checker, these are just a couple of the incredible achievements that you're making, and you should all be very proud of the work that you're doing. Ontario and India share common priorities, and our strengths complement each other, making us natural partners. Our province is home to an incredible talent pool that has made us an attractive jurisdiction for innovative businesses to set up operations in North America. And our top priority as we've navigated the COVID-19 pandemic is to ensure that Ontario is open for business, open for jobs, and open for investment and trade with India. In fact, in 2019, I was fortunate to travel to India on a trade mission with Minister Fedeli, where we met with many talented and influential tech companies. Over the course of 5 days, we led 12 Ontario business delegates who participated in nearly 150 business-to-business meetings, site tours, and networking events with hundreds of Indian companies. And it's incredible to see some of those companies now expanding their presence here in Ontario by establishing delivery centers to serve their clients across all over North America. Ontario values our relationship with India. We want to help even more companies come to Ontario to grow their operations, especially ones from Mumbai and all over India. That's why we continue to operate 2 Ontario trade and investment offices in New Delhi and Mumbai. Through these offices, we support businesses and entrepreneurs from Ontario and India in growing trade and investment ties between our jurisdictions. Ontario's Trade and Investment Office plays a key role in helping strengthen international trade and investment relationships that will be essential to our economic growth. We've also established Invest Ontario, our new investment attraction agency, which provides high-value investors with customized tools and services to support their investments in Ontario. This agency will drive greater economic growth, support strategic domestic firms, and attract businesses from around the world. It provides the business development and planning expertise you need to help your company succeed. As Ontario continues to reopen for business, Invest Ontario will initially focus on 3 strategic sectors where the province has a global competitive advantage: advanced manufacturing, life sciences, and technology, all while moving their business. Investing in Ontario means your company will benefit directly from our high quality of life, highly skilled talent pool, competitive business costs, access to global markets, and a strong innovation ecosystem. I invite you all to visit the investontario.ca website to learn more about how we can support you and help your business thrive. And as the world continues to face unprecedented challenges and so much uncertainty because of COVID-19, Ontario looks forward to continuing to build our relationship to find new ways to support each other, collaborate, and work together. I'm really looking forward to hearing your pitches and learning more about the incredible work that you're doing. So I want to thank you once again for including me in today's event, and I really look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Neema Tangri. We thank you very much for taking the time to participate in this event. Now, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Hemant Gupta, who is the MD and CEO of Bill Ryerson Technology Startup Incubator Foundation. known as BRTSIF. Mr. Hemant Gupta has been in the banking services industry for the last 30 years. He is also a MD and CEO of BSE Samman Limited, which is the corporate social responsibility, a very important portfolio at BSE. So here is Mr. Hemant Gupta.
Sanjay, I hope you guys can hear me clearly. First of all,
Yes.
Minister Tangri, I had the good fortune of meeting you and Minister for Delhi when you guys were in Mumbai and you had visited the Bombay Stock Exchange, and you were very kind to come and visit the incubator also that we have. So thank you very much for your support. Ontario has been a very, very key player for us in our Canadian journey. And thank you very much and we are very in close touch with Digvijay Singh, who's the incoming Trade Commissioner also. Just since I'm talking to most of you for the first time, I'll just give a quick background on the organization that's behind Next Big Idea, and then maybe spend a minute or two talking about Next Big Idea. So BRTSIF, the easier name we call ourselves is Zone Startups. So you can call us Zone Startups, it comes easier to the mouth. Has been in existence for about 8 years now. It's actually a three-way partnership between two Canadian universities, one being Ryerson University in Toronto, and the other one being Simon Fraser University in Vancouver. And Next Big Idea was the first program that Zone Startups India launched, about 8 years ago. We have been doing this program now for about 8 years. In addition to this, we also have other verticals that focus, for example, on women-founded startups. So we have a program called Empower, where this year we actually have a cohort of 74 women-founded startups that are undergoing acceleration. Right? We have social impact-focused accelerator programs, etc. And in your next visit to Mumbai, please do drop by, and we'd love to show you guys around and have you meet some of our outstanding incubators that we have. Next Big Idea 8th edition is actually a re-architected one compared to the previous 7 editions. What we've done effectively is we've broken the program into 3 parts. So first of all, Next Big Idea is a program where we take Indian startups who have traction in the Indian markets and are looking to go expand overseas and help them in doing business, setting up and doing business in Canada through 3 phases: awareness, preparation, and landing. Awareness is a series of webinars that we've done in partnership with, for example, the Government of Ontario, in partnership with the Canadian federal government, in partnership with universities and incubators in Canada. The second phase and the 6th that you're going to hear today are actually are part of that second phase, is where we have a network of relevant people in Canada who work on a one-on-one and a one-on-many basis with these startups to train them on how to do business in Canada, right? And to us, and to these startups also, Canada effectively becomes the gateway to the globe, where you set up your business in Canada, and from there you can expand to other countries. And like Minister Tangri said, there are a lot of advantages in following that approach. So 24 startups that are undergoing preparatory work on doing business in Canada, and sometime in the future, depending on how the situation plays out, we will also then be taking the ones that desire to go to Canada also to Canada through a variety of programs, including the Startup Visa program that was referred to earlier, right? And this program is sector agnostic. So as the Minister Tangri very rightly pointed out, it goes all the way from health technology to HR tech to environmental tech. There are startups right across the spectrum. And one of the things that we've tried to do in the program has been to align the sector, the startups in a particular sector with the focus areas for different provinces, right? So, and critical to the success of the program has been our network in Canada of investors, incubators, startups, business development professionals, and ICCC has been a very, very valuable addition to that network with the vast array of people who are behind ICCC and their experiences in running businesses, in looking at India and Canada as, two geographies where you can operate in, and their learnings from working these two countries. And I'm really looking forward to carrying this association forward and growing it to many more areas apart from Next Big Idea. And thank you, Sanjay ji, and thank you, Mr. Dhillon, for taking this initiative, for connecting with us, and looking forward to working together. I don't want to spend too much time coming between the startups and you guys, so I will shut up now. And if there are any questions, please, I'm going to be around. Feel free to ask me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Hemant ji. That was very good information for us. Now I will introduce to you our next partner from BSRF, which is Gaurav Prakash. Gaurav is the Chief Strategy Officer at Zone Startups India. Gaurav and myself, we started talking around 3 months ago on this event. And we have 2 more events planned with Zone Startups India. We are planning them sometime in December and January. Gaurav has been very helpful. He has spent a lot of his time with me, constantly communicating, chatting, and all those things. So here you go, Gaurav.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. It's been a sheer pleasure, delight, privilege to be here with all of you today. And more importantly, the partnership that we've inked with Indo-Canadian Chamber of Commerce. And this is just the beginning. There is a lot of work ahead of us, and we are absolutely excited and charged to be building this corridor, especially in the area of innovation. This is a program that we've been running pretty successfully, as Hemant had mentioned. We bring Indian startups to Canada, and in future we will definitely start the reverse, where open up Indian market for Canadian startups, and that is how the two-way process will work. Without any further ado, considering that we have a good number of sessions, we will want to get on to it. The first startup which is going to be pitching is Zozo Day, and we have Kushal with us. Before he comes in, a brief about how this will pan out over the next, let's say, hour or so. Every startup has been given 5 minutes to pitch. There is no buzzer. So at the end of 5 minutes, we will intervene and request them to pause, and we will open up for questions. Our request to all the attendees would be, as you are listening, keep putting your questions on the chat. The coordination for asking question will be done by Sanjay. We will pick at as many questions we would have loved to, but for now we are saying 2 questions and time permitting, which is the next 5 minutes after the pitch. We would probably take 2 + 1 if there is availability of time. Otherwise, 2 questions which will be picked from the chat box. This is something which I would request all of you to follow, so that we are able to complete each pitch in 10 minutes.